Welcome to another episode of TFL Talk, and to my left is my lovely, no, Emmy's not here, it's you. How'd I get stuck with you this time?
I can't flip you off on the, yeah, this is public. Sorry, guys, I know it's not Emmy. I can't be as exciting to look at or anything else.
Cute.
Or as cute or interesting, and smells good. She smells really good.
She does smell. She smells like a flower. And oil. Flour and oil.
Flour and oil.
Anyway, today
it's a cooking show now.
Today we're getting nostalgic, and we're going to talk about the top 10, really, nostalgic tech in a car that we miss and that we don't miss.
That's correct, folks. And what we want you to do is at the end of this, please add the ones that we missed, because I have a feeling you will come up with a few.
All right, Nathan's going to do the stuff that we miss, and I'm going to do the stuff that we don't miss, and sometimes we agree.
And sometimes we disagree.
So go ahead, start with number 5, Nathan.
Okay, starting from number 5. Full-size spare tires. I know you're going, wait a minute, my truck has it or so what? No. Think about it. A lot of passenger cars today either have a donut, or now they're starting to come out with air compressors and slime. And frankly speaking, I miss having...
Or nothing.
Or nothing. Sometimes
Run flat tires.
Run flat tires, that's right.
Yeah, there was something cool because it was manly.
Yeah, you know,
right?
Put on a tire and keep on going.
Or, better yet, you know, the damsel in distress.
Here, you can have my tire.
It made me feel like I was important and needed.
The tire makes you feel important and needed.
Because I could change it.
So why don't you start on your number 5 of don't miss?
You know, the Tundra has this, and a lot of other cars had this. It was that little switch next to usually the brake or the clutch that you would push to turn the headlights from brights to regulars. Mm-hmm. And it was something that you'd get your toe caught on. It was something that you'd hit by accident, and it was just silly.
Yeah, I remember one of the cars I had that, I sneezed, and I actually would like hit it and not even realize that that's what I was hitting when I was sneezing. It was an old Oldsmobile. It's, yeah, we don't miss that, and we're really glad they took it off the floor.
Yeah, it's much easier just to flip that little column switch and let them know that they've got their brights on when they do. All right, number 4.
Oh, number 4 on my list. Folks, I kind of miss bench seats. Now,
wonder why.
Yeah. Look, you go to the drive-in movie theater nowadays, if they even exist in your town, and being able to reach over and grab the one you love and even snuggle with him means that you have to actually reach over a big center thing, and there's another thing here, and then you have to go over the seat. And I'm not going to grab him, but you get my point. It used to be something kind of cool to snuggle up. Now, some trucks still have it, but for the most part, cars, they don't have it anymore.
Yeah, I don't miss bench seats. It was never my thing. It was just weird.
It depends on what... Well, if you want to get weird, then you want the bench. Okay, you know what? We're just going to go to the next one. So why don't you go to your number 4 on your...
And this actually goes with your number 4 item, and that's a column shifter, because you could have a bench seat when you had a column shifter.
That's
like
right.
3 on a tree.
Which is what we have in the Tundra, which you have 4 on the tree, but you have a big bench seat, and it is very comfortable.
But I don't miss those at all. I just, you know, in a truck, there's something that's kind of cool about doing that, but in a car, there's something much cooler about this, or, you know, shifting it yourself. And it doesn't have a lot to do with practicality. It just has a lot to do with kind of being cool and feeling cool.
Yeah, and, you know, I remember the old days when you jumped in the car like, okay, let's go. As opposed to, okay, let's go. You know what I'm saying? There's like a big difference between doing those two things. It's just a part of its feel, and frankly speaking, it's just a question of there's only really one car that now has column shift that's available out there, and it's not even a column shift, and that's Mercedes-Benz with their weird gear select.
BMW has that weird thing too.
Oh, they kind of have like
yeah, it's a German thing, you know?
Yeah. Entschuldigung, bitte.
All right, number 3, dude.
Okay, number 3. I kind of miss tape players and CD players. Now they still have CD players in a lot of cars.
But they're on their way out.
They're on their way out, that's true. Especially with tape. It was cool to make a mixtape. I know you can make a mix with your MP3 or whatever, but I don't know, there's something nostalgic about being able to reach into a case that's like, giant in your car and pull out something like, here's the romantic mix, and put it in there, and then hope that it's actually rewound exactly to where you want it. And it just reminds me of high school, and maybe 8-track reminds you of high school. But, back in the day, that was a really cool thing to have, to plug into the car, and old tech is kind of cool sometimes.
You know what I don't miss? push button start. I miss keys. The car started kind of with push buttons, and then they went to keys. And keys are so nice. You push the little button, it opens. You push it, it closes on the key. You stick the key in, you know when the car's on. All that has gone away with the push button start. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you hit the push button when the car's been running? Because you didn't know it was running.
Maybe, well, you know, like a Lexus or a really nice car a couple times, but most cars, I know.
A key, that usually doesn't happen. You know.
You know what though? It does happen. I remember like living with people, including my parents, back in the day when I'd get yelled at, you know, for whatever, and my dad's looking at me, yelling at me, and all of a sudden,
all right. Let me take it one more step. How many times have you left the car running and walked away from it? That happened to me. We had a Prius, and I had the key in my pocket. No, it was the other way. My wife had it in her purse. I dropped her off at like Target. I went home and decided to stop for some gas. Car wouldn't start. I'm like, why is this car not starting? And then it took me like 20 minutes to figure out that
it's already running.
Yeah. No, she had the key.
Oh, that she had the key.
Yeah. All right, well, keep going. Number 2.
Stuff that we miss, all that I miss. Power antennas. They're completely useless today. And what's really cool is that Andre, the angry Russian mechanic, hates them. What was really funny is my mom used to have a Ford Probe, which I'll mention again later on, and it had a power antenna, and it kept breaking, and we couldn't figure out why. And finally, oh yeah, because she left the radio on while she'd go through the drive-through car wash. It would break it every time. So I was actually very well versed in replacing antennas, power antennas on Ford Probes. The point is, they were just a cool little gadget to have. When you turned on a button, things move. And you see, back in the day, especially in the 80s, it was huge having stuff like that. Wow, power antenna, these things are moving, whatever is moving. It was just kind of cool, and it's kind of like some neat tech.
Yeah, okay, but they last about 50,000 miles. Even if you didn't take them through a car wash, then the silicone lubricant, right, that used would either go or that little, or
the grommet would give away and the water would get in there. I'm not saying that they were logical, and obviously they're pretty much all gone now, but it was just kind of cool tech.
And from that same era, I don't miss vinyl roofs or Landau roofs. What were you thinking, designers back? Oh, let's put some vinyl on the roof. Where did that come from?
It will look like a convertible, but it's not really a convertible.
How did that happen?
I really don't. I think it came from like back in the day, horse-drawn wagons and whatnot, when they had like the ones running through the streets of London. And they had, maybe it was a sign of class.
I think it's a sign of terrible. Sign of bad taste. And then the other horrible thing about those things is if you have a classic car and you left it on the sun, they would start to get really ratty and tattered. It looked like a cat actually went and clawed through it after a while.
Yeah, you put a car in storage and rats get to it because it becomes
horrible. All right, number 1, dude. What's your number 1?
For what I miss?
Yeah.
Pop-up headlights.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, and there were all so many different flavors.
Oh, there were tons of them.
Like this.
Yeah, the one like my mom's Ford Probe would do that, and then there's other ones that would flip all the way over.
Like the Opal? Right?
Well, the Opal GT would do it like this, which is really cool too. And some of them were vacuum assisted.
Like the Mark V that we have? Yeah.
That's right. And some of them were electric, and some of them were actually manual. You'd pull out levers. Some were armor. Basically, the headlights didn't pop up, but you'd have literally armor in front of the lights, old Camaros and whatnot, and it would move up and just... I always thought that was really cool. It changed the entire look of the car. Now, the other side of it, of course, is that, okay, so you're not as aerodynamic when you're speeding at night because the headlights are
people,
out.
like in Ferraris on the Autobahn, would complain, man, my lights pop up, I'm doing 180 miles an hour. Who gives a rat's ass? It was so cool. Of course, the bigger issue with them was when they stopped working.
Yeah, when only one would go up, or it wouldn't quite go all the way down. Yeah, it would wink at people and everything else. Yeah, hey, look, guys, it's something we kind of miss. There's no reason for it to exist any longer. We get it, but it's just kind of cool. But you have one that actually is also part of that same vibe in that same time period.
And I have to admit, I put this on every car that I owned until I was like 25, and that is louvers. Remember those? And I'm not sure why you did it. I think they were supposed to cool the inside of the car.
Yeah, they're supposed to cool the car, but it also was a cool look. Just like putting like a big turbo sticker on the side of your car back then, even if it wasn't a turbo.
Yeah.
The louver, for those of you who don't know, is this giant, sometimes metal, sometimes plastic.
Sometimes aluminum.
Sometimes aluminum component that was on the back of your hatch, usually. And from the side, it looked like it went like this, like an alligator back, but from the inside of the car, you could almost see out of it.
Almost.
And it completely impaired your vision. And the whole point of it was to keep direct sunlight out from your car, but it wound up kind of being a visual hindrance, right?
Yeah. I mean, it was cool. It looked cool, but it was a pain in the butt because then if you wanted to wash that glass, you had to have a way to actually open
Yeah, it had,
up.
and some of them had their own little things.
And then eventually, when you put them on, they would fall off, and then they'd be hanging by one of the hinges. It was just a...
Oh, they were impossible to see out of. And they were on 300ZXs, and they were on
anything.
Starions, and just tons of... Well, you had them on a couple of
I had it on an RX-7 that I had a 300. I put them on everything. I thought they were crazy cool. So, let's give them one bonus thing that we don't miss.
Yeah, one thing that both of us agree on is absolutely, thank God, it's pretty much gone.
Thank God. The car bra.
Oh, my God.
What a horrible idea. What were we thinking in the day? It was kind of cool looking, but there was so much downside to it because you couldn't wash the car without taking it off.
Yeah, and a lot of people didn't even bother taking it off. Right?
We'll get underneath it.
No, if you get any dirt underneath it, it would actually go and scratch the paint in different ways. And you actually, what you're supposed to do, if you actually read the instructions with these things, is take them off like every 2 weeks and clean the inside out very carefully and not leave it on your car. And even if you did that, it would change the color between the front of your car that was protected and the rest of your vehicle. The only thing a bra could do, if it was used correctly, is prevent stone chips, and even that didn't work so well. Now, some of those things were so poorly made that they actually would warp some of the front end of your vehicle.
Well, I had one on my 300ZX with the louvers, and at like 75 miles an hour, it would start to flap. And you'd like do a cross-country drive, and then you'd get home and you'd look, and there was actually like a line where the top of the bra was because it was actually damaging the paint.
And it started to curl and get worse and worse progressively. Yeah, I do not miss the bra.
Are we going to feel the same way about clear bras 20 years from now?
Oh, I already think that they're a waste.
Same problem?
Well, and on top of that, you have uneven wear on your car in terms of sunlight, so eventually the paint will not match. And on top of that, you get that dust line that's going around, and if there's an air bubble underneath, you can have extra damage underneath it.
Well, I think it's one of these things like rust proofing, right? Where the manufacturers just got so good at building cars and making them rust-proof in themselves that you don't need any additional stuff that the dealer sells. So the clear bra will probably go away once the paint gets a little bit more robust and once it becomes a little bit more stone resistant. And the manufacturers actually do put thicker paint on the front of the car
than
they do on the rest of the car. So they're already talking about this. If you have any other things that you miss, things like glass packs, I remember I love those. You don't see them too often anymore.
Aftermarkets, cherry bombs. Take a moment and go ahead and type it. Hula Girls, that's universal. You can have it on any car. Go ahead and add that comment down there. Yes, Fuzzy Dice, that's right. Or Andrei Smirnov. You can put him in the back seat and he'll sing to you as you drive. That I miss.
So please put your comments in the comment section below. And thanks for checking out TFL Car. And check out TFLcar.com for more news, views,
and real world reviews.
And next time we'll do some more fun stuff on TFL Talk. Think of this as a video podcast.
That's it.